Welcome back to the Anachroschism. Last time, our intrepid heroes were stuck in the Sanguine stronghold with a dilemma. They had discovered a bunch of people who had been kept by some members of the Blade, some other mercenaries in the area. They were trying to figure out how best to get them to safety. Luckily, they had some help in the way of the Crusade, who came as reinforcements. They had met one of their agents inside at a makeshift tavern in the area. He was able to come through with some other people who were in the area. And between the group themselves and the Crusade, they were able to get these people back to their two towns, respectively, where they belonged. They headed back to Sagara Cove, a city that they were getting kind of familiar with at this point, and upon doing so, knocked on the mayor's door at the butt-ugly dawn of morning. But mayor had some good news for them, including the fact that they had actually had a house in the area, a lovely two-story building. They milled about for the afternoon. A couple people went shopping. Somebody went to the library. All these things were fun experiences. And as we left off last time, they were retreating back to their house as evening set in. And now you have the evening to do with what you will, if anything, unless you want to just head to bed and get ready for the morning when you guys were apparently going to set out for Fallstock once dawn hit the next day.
And we're the Seekers now, too. Tentatively titled.
But at least one person...
Tentatively titled.
At least one person thinks that, yes.
We are both tentatively titled and tentatively the Seekers.
Yes, both, yes.
Yeah.
So, is there anything else you guys would like to do in the house in the evening before you pack in for the night?
I know Tessian would like to gently rap at Lena's door, or whatever the equivalent is.
Don't make it weird. No.
Uh-oh.
Stop it.
Hey, Lena, you up still?
Well, here comes the shipping.
Look, I'm just saying, he doesn't roll around. He's like, yo, what's up? Like, he doesn't do that.
So, Lena, you hear a light knocking on your door.
Okay. I will go open the door.
It would be funny if she didn't. That would be a really good start to this episode.
I'm sorry,
You know what?
Tessian,
You're going to have to stay out of my room.
I'm sleepy. I can't hear you. La 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 la.
Behavior is not befitting of a lady.
Yeah,
So,
I'll go open
Tessian is he's trying, it's just like, hello, Lena, how are things? Are you settling in well? That sort of stuff.
Yeah, I will respond with, the view of the ocean is stunning from my room. And then I'll finish with, I like my room, I am comfortable.
You have an
It's
ocean
good.
view?
Yeah.
She called dibs.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, it's true.
It's gorgeous.
And Tessian's just like, yes, I just wanted to stop by and ask about that letter you received. Is everything all right?
Right. Yes, everything is fine. My grandmother just wanted me to visit again at some point in the future. She didn't say it was urgent, but she did want me to go back and visit because there's something I should know. So...
And Tessian is just like, well, do you happen to know what it is? Is there any reason that she'd want you to come back that you know of?
I shake my head, and I actually pull out the letter that I kind of crinkled up earlier when I was hiding it from Stuart. I pull it out of my pouch, and then I hand it to Tessian so that he can read it for himself.
I mean, does it look legit? I don't know how I'm going to know that, but...
Make an investigation check.
Is it written in crayon, Chris?
Does it look like it was written by a 5-year-old?
Dear D-E-E-R, Lena, L-E-E-N-E.
Oh, gosh. What is that? Not good. 4.
Oh, no.
Well, it's very important, yes.
Despite all of your forensics training, nothing in particular stands out as this being phony in any way. It looks like it was made on decently well-made parchment, and... I mean, you have no idea like what her handwriting looks like or anything, but it seems to be legit.
Can I corroborate my grandmother's handwriting?
Yeah.
Okay.
It looks like her handwriting.
Cool.
I guess this is almost sort of an out-of-character question. Is the fact that we received this, like, strange or out of character at all? Like, we've been sort of traveling around. I know that, like, I don't know how much in contact she's been with her grandmother since we've been around. How likely is it that they would be able to send us a letter at a particular town in the middle of nowhere, I guess. I think that's sort of where Tessian's head is right now. Like, what's the likelihood that they would just be like, I know exactly where to send this letter? Like, I guess. Does that sort of make sense?
The easiest answer to your question is this is the first communication she's received from anybody since you guys left months ago. So no, this is not a regular occurrence. This is actually the first time anybody's tried to reach out to her. For the most part, she seems to have been persona non grata up to that point. It's a little bit strange that they knew where to send the message, and you don't know if that's because word of what happened at the Cove has already spread, or because perhaps there are people who are keeping an eye on her, or at the very least keeping tabs on her, and who that might be, you don't really know.
Okay,
Or
that's sort of enough. So he'll sort of be like, Lena, I don't know a ton about your people. I mean, I only met them briefly, but does your grandmother have a way of locating you? I just ask because we've been traveling a little bit, and I mean, receiving a message like this out of the blue, asking you to return despite the potential dangers, I'm just concerned about it is all.
I'm definitely going to think about that. Chris.
Yes.
I'm going to think about it. Chris, what do I think?
Hi.
As the player, can I ask kind of how that works in my community?
You know that the Sowenwood is relatively sequestered, mostly by design on the inside. But you also know that there are a handful of people who try to reach out to other communities, your grandmother being one of them. She's the one who first brokered the idea of having Tessian come in as a representative. So she, unlike a lot of people within there, has connections somewhere. You don't know a whole lot about them because this is a world that you didn't even really care about until you were kind of hoisted into it months ago.
Mm-hmm.
But she is one of the few people that you could see knowing some people or knowing how to get you a message in some way. You don't, again, you have no idea like to the methodology, but it's not unreasonable for her to have this kind of access.
Okay. So I will go ahead and tell Tessian that my grandmother has a lot of connections around the world outside of the Sowenwood, and so I can see how it'd be possible for her to contact me, but you're right that the timing does seem weird.
Tessian's like, well, as long as you trust her, I won't pretend to know the ways of a people like your own. I certainly didn't know them long enough. I'm just concerned, given your circumstance, that any attempts we make to re-enter the Sowenwood might be met with, well, difficulty. That's all.
You're right, it could be tough. Should I respond to her, do you think? Send another letter?
Gosh, he thinks about it for a second. And he's like, perhaps, but maybe don't include your location or where you're going. If it truly is her and she's capable of tracking you, then you wouldn't need to include it. But if it's just bait of some kind, then we shouldn't divulge any more than we need to.
Chris,
Got it.
I have two questions.
Okay.
One is, I want to do an eavesdrop check.
Oh no! I knew it.
Very interested.
Eavesdropping. What's the second question?
It'll be something different. So we should answer the first one.
do you like ponies?
Second one,
do.
not anything with the game. I'm just curious.
I do, and frankly, people don't ask me if I like ponies enough,
That's what
to
I'm
be
here
honest
for.
with you. That's a great. It should be every day. If you'd like to try and sneak up to the door and listen in, you can.
Where is my room to Lena's room again?
That's going to be kind of up to you guys and how you've arranged yourself. She's got one of the two eastern-facing rooms.
Fucking ocean view, Jesus.
You went with the one that was, I believe, the furthest down in the corner, if I remember correctly, but I'd have to go check the tapes.
Sounds like me. So are we
That
like on
sounds right.
polar opposites of the house then?
She would be 3 of the 4 doors away from you.
So I'm trying to...
So not opposites per se, but there is some distance between those two rooms.
And is it just the interior of the house? Would it be like, is the hallway like straight? So it's like room, all in the straight hallway. Is there like a corner I can kind of sneak up to that's relatively close?
This one's in the middle of a hallway. So basically the stairs lead up,
Okay.
and so you're on the bottom right corner of, say, this rectangle. And then there's a room to the right, facing south. There's 2 rooms to the east. And so this corridor kind of snakes around. It comes up the staircase. There's a room here. Goes up here, makes a left. There's 2 up top, and there's 2 more on the far. I guess that's the north.
Oh, so I can sneak up to like. There is a corner that I could sneak up to, and
There's a corner-ish, yes.
okay. So what do I? So is it perception to
But
where I can
to
hear?
hear inside, you're going to have to be next to the door. You're not going to hear a whole lot from anywhere except like leaning up against the door.
Is there a door that I can sneak out? Okay. Are you guys inside? I thought you opened the door and you were just like talking in the door. Did testing come inside and you guys close the door? I asked now. It's not. I think it's okay to retroactively. I don't expect every single detail in these things, but would you have? Probably. It sounds like it was so
Probably,
private
especially
conversation.
if Tessine wanted to keep it private. What do you think? Yeah.
Sure.
Oh, I'm gonna sit
Yeah,
next to the
sure.
door then. For hell, sure.
Okay. Go ahead and make a stealth check.
Okay. Please, please.
Grail and Karash, what are you doing?
I'm going.
Go
Go
ahead.
for it.
Okay. Okay. I am just gonna go to bed.
Okay.
I'm going to, making very sure that I am unseen by any other dragonborn in the area, going to carve a ginormous mazes and arrows version of the symbol of Cord into the ceiling of my bedroom, and then one up on the next to where the lightning rod will be installed.
Okay.
That's amazing.
Stealth check is 7.
Okay.
So
Well,
I want you to know that my passive perception beats that, and I know Lena's does as well.
So you guys are having this conversation. Stuart, you hear about 4 sentences as you kind of lean up against the door, and you guys on the inside hear a thump against the door.
Yeah. And as soon as I thump, and we can talk about maybe what I did hear later and what I don't, but as soon as I hear a thump, I say, "Oh, goodness, God. My mistake, everyone. I just going to see Grail in her room, and I slipped. Carry on with whatever you're doing. Oh, Grail, are you there? I'm lost, actually. Grail."
I kind of like stir awake because I was sleeping, and I kind of yell, "What do you want?" from my bed.
Oh, it turns out this is not Grail's room. Okay. I will go to Grail's room. And
Okay.
I knock on the door.
Oh boy. I will open the door very grumpily.
"Hi, Grail. How are you doing? I actually did want to come see you anyways.
All right. What you want to talk about?
Today was a big day, and I wanted to catch you before you fell asleep. How are you feeling as we head into tomorrow?"
I was sleeping.
No, I don't
But-
mean like physically,
So,
right in
it's
this
all right.
moment.
It's all right.
There was a lot with your brother and quite a few different things we found out, and
Yeah,
we keep getting closer to this road that is taking us to him. So I just want to make sure you're feeling okay.
I mean, honestly, I'm not feeling okay, but we are getting closer, and for better or for worse, that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna keep on keeping on, and there's not a whole lot I can do about it. So,
I'm going to be honest with you.
okay.
The reason I'm asking is because I'm afraid it seems that the more you find out about your brother, the more reckless you've been. And I know we both have our moments of recklessness. We're new to this, but I want to make sure you're protecting yourself and you're not thinking, "I have nothing to lose," because you do.
I have a moment of like a flash of anger, and I'm like, that's not true. And then I pause, and I'm sorry. I think you're right. This has been a lot, and I just want to find him. You know, I think you might be right. I don't want to go down a bad path. He's already done that for the 2 of us, and I don't know. I don't know I appreciate your concern.
You're a good person. Just hold on to that goodness. That's what I want to make sure of more than anything.
I appreciate hearing that. Truly, I do.
Okay, well, I'll let you go back to sleep. We can talk more in the morning.
All right. Thank
Hey,
you. Well,
Crash!
before you go, how are you holding up?
things are good. I think Tessian is onto me. And
I
when
don't think
say
Tessian likes you a whole bunch.
I know he's onto me.
Yeah, you're being a little suspect, you know?
Grail, I'm not a good liar. I'm
I
new to
know.
this. I have adopted the vigilante mantle, but I am far from the man he was, and the cracks are starting to show, I'm afraid.
For what it's worth, I think these are good people. I think they're salt of the earth types. Even if Tessian is a noble type, I trust him. I do. And I know I'm a country girl, and I don't necessarily know what the world is like, but I trust them. I want to believe that they're all good in their heart of hearts.
The problem is I trust them too, and that's what scares me. I've been betrayed by those I trusted more than anyone. So I just, in my hometown, the saying, once bitten by a poisonous rattlesnake, twice shy of the poisonous rattlesnakes for the future encounters. So I just want to be careful.
I understand. I mean, look where I'm coming from, too. I trusted my brother with everything, and I don't think I can trust him with anything at all. I just, and it's hard to reconcile, and I understand what you're going through, but these people seem to be our allies, and I think we should just we should trust them to an extent, within reason, of course, but I think you can let down your guard a little bit around these guys.
Well, I agree with you. I think the time is coming where we are all going to have a sit down, and I need to be truthful. You and I are both dealing with the trust issues, but I will say I'm glad we're in it together.
I agree. I don't think I could do it without you at this point.
That means a lot to me, Miss Grail.
Well, I'm going to go back to bed, and you should also get some sleep, and
will.
I'll see you in the morning.
I'm going to go find Karash, but I will sleep soon.
Okay.
Good night.
Good night.
He closes the door, and I immediately... Karash!
Yeah,
Ready now! I was not a second ago!
I want Tessian to be, like, outside the door. Like, watching him.
Okay, I like it.
He's finished up, like, he's done talking with Lena. He was like, oh, Lena, have a good night. The view is really beautiful. Kind of wraps all that up. And then I even rolled a stealth check. I didn't do very well, so I'm definitely a little stealthier than him, but not much, by one.
Oh,
So,
nice.
okay, so Tessian's there.
So
what you're saying.
he's just sort of like out there. He's just sort of
Okay.
like watching you, just like in the hallway. Like, hello, I see you. I have my eyes on you.
Hey, Karash! Oh, hello, Tessian. Hi. I did not see you there.
And Tessian just sort of nods, and he's just like, have a good night, Stuart, and then goes to his room.
Oh, I am gonna go talk to Karash if you want to join me.
And it's just like,
Okay. Well, you have a good night too, friend. Okay, time to find Karash. If that's Grail's room, I know Lena's room.
Mm-hmm.
That's Tessian's room right there.
Mm-hmm.
So Karash, what's her fucking name? The lady who's
Daybeth.
Debeth. Do we know? Are they in the? What's the sleeping situation there? Are they sharing a room? Is Karash on the couch?
Crash is gonna crash on the couch.
Yes, he is.
I haven't gotten anywhere beyond carving things around the building, so I couldn't tell you.
So you're like outside.
I'm either outside or in my room carving. I don't know which at this point.
I figured room was first, so I imagine he's outside. So if you want to find him, you can you go knock on his door. There's no answer, but if you want to go outside, you'll find him out there.
Hey, Karash, what are you doing?
What? Nothing.
Okay, I was interested at first. Now you're acting very suspicious.
I'm not doing anything. Just making sure everything is okay on the outside of the house. That's all.
Look, if you want to have your secrets, that's okay. I have secrets. You have secrets. Tessian has. Everybody has secrets. It's okay. I'm not here about the secrets, honestly. you found Debeth today, which is great, and we had a great victory. I just wanted to see how you were doing as we head into tomorrow. You're going to say goodbye. I just want to check on you.
I'm okay. I'm not doing anything.
No,
Certainly.
we are past the etching. I don't care. I want to make that clear.
If you could do me a favor and not mention this to David, that'd be great.
Sure, I probably won't even speak with her. She probably hates
Or-
me. That's okay.
Ever mention it to any other Dragonborn that you ever see, that'd be great too.
Is it magic?
No, not really.
Is it kind of magic?
It's kind of magic. Sure, we'll go with that. It's
What
kind
does
of
it do?
magic.
Is it for the lightning rod?
Yes. We'll go
Does
with that.
it-
Basically.
Okay. Does it make it more likely for lightning to strike?
Well, no, we're trying to not get struck by light. It's not about the. It's just a symbol thing. It don't.
Okay.
It's not.
Okay, no, that's great. I think that's really great. You know, you say you're not an artist, but this looks pretty good. There is some artistic flair to these things that you're doing.
To the 6 lines that I
Yes.
carved.
You don't want
It's
to see what I can do.
I mean, thank you.
You're welcome. Anyways, I just want to make sure you're feeling good. We're going to set out tomorrow, and I want to make sure we're all in good spirits. We don't want to hypothetically torture anyone who maybe doesn't deserve it or anything like this. So I want to make sure we're in a good headspace.
I promise I won't hypothetically torture anybody who doesn't deserve it.
You know, Karash, I appreciate that. And, you know, you don't seem like one to talk a lot. Anytime you do wish to share anything, I'm here. We already have a secret, right, buddy? And I... Not to Lena, to
Punch
you.
Michaela.
Thanks, buddy.
I feel like I've been a little secretive, and I just want to spend a little time maybe forging some bonds with us. Seems like we're going to be with each other for a little bit of time.
Secrets are good. Secrets are perfectly fine as long as they're not told to the wrong person. Like talking to anybody that looks like me about this.
Your secret's safe with me,
Ever.
Karash.
Ever.
This mask, it's like a zipper for secrets.
Nope.
You're
not gonna do it.
speechless. I like that. That's what I'm going to do too when somebody asks me what is Karash etching on the outside. Anyways, friend, I will let you continue, and I'm going to get some sleep.
Thanks. Good night.
All right, good night. And Stuart's tour of the house is over.
Good. No stone
thank
left
God.
unturned.
I'm gonna find Daybeth and offer her my bed and to sleep on the floor.
Okay. You finish up your carving work on the outside, the one in your room already finished, and as you head back inside, on the lower floor, you find Daybeth in what appears to be like a back room behind the kitchen. And it is a 2-tiered room, and it looks like she's been at work rearranging things so that the first room, as you come in, has some of the barrels and things that we're storing various items for the kitchen in it. And the back room, which is small but workable, has been turned into sort of like a makeshift bedroom.
Oh. You don't have to sleep in here. You could just use our room or my room while I'm not here. There's no reason to. I mean, if you're the only one here, it'd be silly of you to sleep in such a small space.
I couldn't possibly impose. It's enough that you let me stay here. I can keep to my own quarters, and besides, I'll have the entire lower floor and really the whole house at my disposal when you guys are away.
I mean, whatever makes you happy, I guess, but it's not like it's any more my house than it is your guys's. Or anybody else's. We were just given the place, so
Yeah, even
please
so.
feel free.
Even the idea of imposing is too much. This is plenty. It's about the same accommodations I had at the place I was staying in town, and now it's a place I can call my own.
Fair enough, as long as you're comfortable. Is there anything you need before we leave?
I will be making arrangements while you guys are gone to pick up a few things for the house. It's got some nice charms to it, a good amount of furniture. I wish it had a little bit more in the way of foodstuffs. So that's what I'm going to be working on when you guys are gone, is trying to stock it up so that it's got things that can last for a while. That'll be ready when you come home from your travels.
Okay, did you need some more money? I've got gold I'm not really using for anything.
A little bit more wouldn't hurt, I suppose, if it's not going to put you out.
No, that's fine. I'll give her 20 gold.
Okay.
It could be a place to start at least.
Yeah, making it rain with coins. One of the coins
Throw it at her.
Hits her in the eye.
Is there nothing else I can do for you then?
No, you've done plenty already. Just be careful out there, and keep an eye out for any others of us that you can find. It's going to be few and far between, but I know there are more out there.
Mm-hmm. Gonna pause awkwardly and stumble, and then hug her.
Aww.
And she's taken aback by it for a second, not because she's put off, but because she seems surprised by it, if anything. Like, it's not a move she expected from you, but she does return the hug.
So it's been a while since I've seen a dragonborn. I'm gonna go to bed now. Good night.
No, it's awkward and cute.
Michelle shipping it quietly in the bottom corner there.
I ship it.
An
Okay,
evening's
thanks.
rest
Bye.
takes everybody as you head back to your respective rooms, assuming there's nothing else you'd like to do. I don't want to cut you off, but it seemed like we're... So, good evening's rest. Again, the beds are fairly comfortable. They're not the best ever. They're not the most expensive or anything, or the most fancy, but it's more reassuring just to kind of have a place that's your own of sorts. It's, there's safety to it. The town is relatively safe right now because you've purged the threat, at least for the time being, if not longer. And just again, this place, after traveling about for the last few days, is a welcome switch from camping out in the middle of nowhere or wherever you had been respectively before this, depending on what your journey was before you joined as a group. So, nice evening's rest. You recover all of your spells and whatnot, although you didn't use a whole lot yesterday because you just traveled to Cigar Cove. Spell slots are back. Hit points are full. Hit dice, all that jazz. Everybody should be pretty much full on everything right now.
I guess I actually have a question now that you kind of mention it. How does owning property work? You said our house, and I know we got the key for it. Do we know who actually owns it in a way, if that makes sense?
Ostensibly, it's you now.
Like us as a whole, or like me, or like Tessian, or like I guess, yeah, like who has the deed per se? Like, do we know?
The mayor has the deed.
Okay.
And his ownership extends to ostensibly all 5 of you, but no one in particular.
Okay.
This is a house that was used for other temporary housing at one point, and it seems the mayor has given it to you for the foreseeable future, if not long term.
Okay.
So it is the mayor's house, so I suppose if you trash it too much, if you keep carving things in places, or if you, light it on fire, or having a little bit too much fun at a party one day, there could be issues. But beyond that, it is yours to do with as you please, but not yours in the grand scheme of things.
Okay.
You cannot
That's all
sell
I
it for
was...
150 gold, buy equipment with it, and then go out on the road.
Okay.
It'd be
That's
worth
all I
more
was
than
wondering.
150
Yep.
gold, but- So, as morning comes, what do you guys like to do in the morning?
Food.
What a surprise. Grail's first motive is food.
I'm gonna work out
Okay.
my morning workout regimen.
With the salmon ladder you installed in your room?
Yes. Last night.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Actually, if there is like a beam in the roof, I'm thinking like old housing, there could be like a beam. I'm definitely doing like pull-ups, trying to do weighted pull-ups on it, trying to get stronger.
Sure. There is a reasonably secure curtain bar that you can use. You have to roll an athletics check, though.
Okay.
Pumping the irons.
It's almost sweaty like Ben Affleck in the montage of Batman vs.
Of
Superman.
Goodwill Hunting.
Yes.
Yes.
Good. Roll the 1.
Which is a 0.
So-
Which is a 0.
You start doing... No, he starts doing pull-ups. Pull-ups are going great. You're feeling strong. All of a sudden, on about the 5th rep... Curtain rod comes down, curtains with it. The morning light kind of shines in more brightly now.
Oh!
You land on the floor. Certainly not hurt more than your pride, if anything, but pull-up bar appears to have been destroyed in its first use.
Did we hear that? Who heard that?
Yeah. Did anyone?
It's not super loud. There's a bit of a crash, but it's not that high up from the ground. If anything, it's more audible downstairs than it is in your respective rooms, but it's possible you could have heard it, especially if you're awake already.
Oh, I hate my life.
I hate Mondays.
I'm just going to stick to pull-ups, push-ups, I mean. Oh, I hit my head.
I learned nothing from this experience. Pull-ups it is.
Just a minor concussion. What was I doing? I don't know.
Oh, God.
Downstairs, David has a not exactly huge spread, but a nice breakfast prepared with some eggs and some toast and some fresh fruit.
David, I love you.
She's coming through in the clutch. So as you guys kind of come downstairs in assorted states of grogginess and whatever, there is a pretty decent breakfast spread set up for you.
Assuming that I would have had some chance ahead of time to plan for this, I was going to get up early to go fishing.
Sure.
Which is just getting in the water and catching live fish and eating them and bringing them some back.
Okay. That's fine.
Like you do.
Like you do as a dragonborn. Well, a seafaring one.
But now you have to make an athletics check.
Can do.
If it's a 1, I swear to God.
Oh, God. Athletics, say?
You drown.
Oh, God, where'd it go?
That's the question.
11.
Okay.
Dramatically better than a 0.
Yeah. Going out in the pre-dawn light, you're able to swim around. You catch 4 fish. Not your best work. Maybe you're just a little, off your game today, but also not terrible. How many of those you consume before bringing them back is up to you, but...
Presumably just 1.
Okay.
Seems greedy otherwise.
So then there's also a bit of fish available for breakfast, although certain members of this group may not be partaking, but... Fish breakfast, in addition to everything else that's on the spread.
Yeah, Tessian will come down and eat. So.
Yep.
Uh-oh.
Whoa.
Boy, Michelle's connection just had a heart attack.
Oh, no!
What was Grail doing?
The same. Also smelling breakfast and running downstairs.
I see. Because what we heard was... Oh!
Oh, good! That's actually what I meant to say.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Grail comes downstairs fragmented in technological flux. It's a little weird. She's
I am a
pixelated.
robot.
She doesn't look like quite herself.
Sorry.
Lovely breakfast. Anything else you'd like to accomplish in the house or in town before you head out? You do have a wagon waiting for you at the west exit of town as arranged by the mayor, just like last time, except this time the wagon is yours to keep.
Aww.
Nothing?
Look at us, running all domestic and all of that.
I come down fully dressed, fully prepped to go, and I say, "Well, is everybody ready?"
Morning, sunshine.
Good morning, Grail. Shall we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gonna have breakfast, or are you ready to go?
No, I have some beef jerky still. I'm okay. Thank you, though,
All
Debek.
right.
It smells lovely.
David is one hell of a cook.
And Tessian's like, surely you could enjoy some of her hospitality.
I just don't want to waste any time. And I take
And
out the beef jerky
Tessian's
and
like,
start
well,
eating it.
you're going to be waiting a little bit because me and Grail are going to finish breakfast first.
Come on, Stuart.
Oh,
Have an
fine.
English muffin.
Fine. And I come and I sit and I eat everything. I eat from everything, not I eat everything.
Just tip the table over and pour it in your mouth. Stuart's very much an all or nothing guy, you know? Eat the breakfast, eat all the breakfast.
Yes.
So, ready to head out? Everybody good?
Yeah.
Content? Happy? Leaving anything behind? Nothing else. Where everybody's good.
I'm going to leave my mace with
Breakfast is
Daybeth,
delicious.
unless she doesn't want it for some reason.
Okay. She'll kind of look it over when you hand it to her, and She does seem to have an idea how to use it. Probably not nearly as well as you, but it could be handy in case something comes up, Self-defense.
Protect yourself.
Yeah. I will.
Walk away awkwardly.
I might leave my banjo.
Oh, please do.
No!
Oh my god, that's so mean, Crash.
No, Tessian would be he'd be like, you're not bringing your banjo.
Well, I mean, we'll be back soon enough, and I don't know if I need to be carrying it around with me everywhere I go.
And Tessian's like, well, in my experience, a trip always requires a little festivity every now and then, but to each their own.
Yeah, I'm just, I'm very attached to this instrument. His name's Bjorn, and I don't want him to get damaged, so it might be best to leave him behind for this adventure.
He'll relent. He'll agree. Whatever.
I'm looking very sad, but I also won't say anything.
Aww. Do I notice that you look? I'm gonna notice that you look sad. I'm just gonna decide. I'm noticing this. And I'll just be like, it's all right. I can sing, and you can play your ocarina.
And my face will light up because more music, and I'm so down.
Yay! Cool.
The DM is also sad.
Oh no. Bjorn will be back, I'm
To
sure.
break the fourth wall. Fine. We just commissioned art of a prominent banjo.
We'll be back. Well, now you have to make sure that we go
Away.
back home at some point so I can bring
2
it back.
seconds in.
Cigar Cove just wasted. Just
Yeah. Oh God! Now I'm nervous. Like maybe I have to bring it. I mean, we do have a wagon.
And it's our wagon. We're not leaving it someplace, presumably.
Karash is going to quietly debate accidentally breaking the banjo with himself.
I would never forgive you. Ever.
Did you carve? Was it just outside and inside, or is there like a carving in this room someplace?
No, it was only, I carved a ginormous one in my bedroom on the ceiling, and then a smaller one next to the place where the lightning rod's going to go.
Okay.
Yeah, because, that'd be too obvious.
Right.
You know what? No. Fuck it. I'm bringing it with me. I'm nervous now about what's going to happen to Cigar Cove, and I don't want anything to happen to it.
You have a nice
This-
idyllic life here. What could happen?
The safest place for it is right on my back.
Okay. All right. The fan art is saved. Okay. So you guys gather whatever possessions you're bringing and head out to the western part of Cigar Cove. And as expected, unlike last time, the mayor and the general goods store owner are not there to greet you, but you see a cart with 2 horses tied nearby, just kind of like last time, and it appears to be ready to go.
Deja vu all over again.
Who's driving?
Me!
Okay.
Obviously, Lena.
Obviously, Karash.
Tessian will sit in the back, though. He won't sit up by Lena this time. So.
I wouldn't mind sitting next to Lena.
I welcome it. I slap the seat next to me and say, come join me.
And I definitely do that.
Yay!
And she pretends to and then doesn't.
Obviously.
I get in the wagon, take a look at the seat next to Tessian. Look at it.
This was in no way intentional, Stuart. In no way.
Think about it. And then I just sit there.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
There's also a big sack in the back of the wagon. And inside, because I'm not going to have you roll an investigation check for opening a bag, there is what appears to be about 2 weeks' worth of rations.
Oh, hell yeah.
Amazing.
4 or 5 people. So however many that, 10 weeks' worth of, I don't know. But
A lot.
yeah, it's a pretty big sack. And it's just all, dried food stuff that will last for a while. And so a little extra bonus gift, it seems, from the people of the city. But again, nobody's here to see you off this time. Yeah. So, Lena's driving. Everybody else is in the cart.
Yeah.
To the west we go.
Mm-hmm.
Westward.
All right. Well, I always welcome the chance for an animal handling check. So, Lena,
Yay.
I'm all about these skills that don't get used. We're probably going to use them more than we should because I just want them to get time.
Nice.
20!
It,
Not
Yeah.
natural 20. That's total.
Right.
Getting the hang of this.
Yeah. So it seems that you have a connection with these horses. They are the same ones as before.
Aw, yay!
And so it's very easy to get them to kind of follow your lead and head out to the west at a very good clip. Nice brisk pace. Nothing that's going to tire them out too quickly, but you're going to make good time today.
Sweet.
I am reading
Of course.
Oh,
Tales of the
that's very
Gunslinger
impressive.
number 5. And I've been reading for a while. And at some point, I close the book and I look up. I'm thinking, Tessian, I have a question for you.
And Tessian, who has his own little book, he's kind of like sketching stuff in it. It's just like, yes.
This character, the Gunslinger, he's a great hero. But every time he runs into these villains, they are, think of a council that runs the world. And he refuses to kill them. Every time he puts them in some kind of prison or arrests them, but they're above the law. It means nothing. And I just think, why doesn't he kill them? It's the only way to make sure people above power get their justice. And I just don't understand. And what do you think about that?
And he kind of thinks about it for a second. He's like, well, I can't say I really understand this fictional character that you're describing. But I know in Black Harbor, where I come from, there's a group called the Council of 12. They remind me a little bit of this group you're talking about. They're a little shadowy. They're a little let's just say that they run things behind the scenes. A lot of the markets, some of them less legal than others. Our relationship, my family, with them is always been a bit tentative, but we do our best to work alongside them when we can, even when we know that they are not always in alignment with our goals. They care about money at the end of the day, and it's not really evil like I suspect this group in your book is, but it's been my family's experience that if somebody has a goal, you simply need to align their goal with your own. While my family runs a great deal of Black Harbor, we can't always trust them. We do know that at the end of the day, they would never let profits suffer. So there's some security in that. We do our best to allow them to pursue their goals and shape their goals so that they meet ours. I think perhaps your character is trying to do something similar. He's hoping that in time they will realize the error of their ways and perhaps try to channel their efforts towards something in alignment with his own goal. Or perhaps I'm just overthinking it and it's just terribly written. I don't know.
No, it makes sense, and it's definitely not that one. It's a very good writing. Up there, not maybe like poetic, but just underneath that level. I just think you could be right, but when I think of this group in my book and in real life, it's a group of people who seem to answer to no one. And I have a problem with that.
And Jesse's like, well, I think this is where your fiction is going to get in the way of reality. There's no way that there's no way that you could answer to no one. I mean, unless you live alone and by yourself and truly with no one. But even then, what's to stop someone else from entering your life, from exerting their own will over yours? If you wish to truly control something, there have to be people beneath you. And if that's the case, then you answer to them. What's to stop them from trying to overthrow you? I guess I just don't understand how. There's no way that you can truly answer to no one.
I guess it's that concept of power constructs that I struggle with. You've given me a lot to think about today. I appreciate it, Tessian. I'm gonna go back to reading.
Yeah.
Everybody else, of course, heard this as well.
I'm gonna very, very subtly nudge Lena and just kind of grin, as if the boys are getting along, eh?
Yeah,
kind of a thing.
I am going to also smile back.
Aww.